Hello, everybody. It is 10:30 on a Thursday night. Thank you very much for joining us all, and just in time, thank you very much, Professor Lardy. You have subscribed, and yes, indeed, 10 months. How does that time fly? Really appreciate that sub, and everybody can hear me. So apologies for Tuesday night. Tuesday night we tried to do this and failed completely as my audio settings had reset themselves to, and it took us a while to do, but we are here. You can hear me from the sounds of it, which is really good. So I'm going to go straight into this. This is going to be Untold Chronicles episode 1 of Scraplands. So we're going to switch across to our live scene, which hopefully the tech gods will work. Yeah, that does. You've got me. You can not only hear me, you can see me as well, which is, well, not necessarily a good thing for some people. So without further ado, we've only got an hour and a half to do episode 1. So we're going to go into thanks first. Firstly, thank you to our players who very kindly moved their schedules from Tuesday night to Thursday night so we didn't have to miss an episode of Scraplands. Secondly, thanks to all of you viewers, and by the looks of it, we've got at least 10 people in viewing and chat at the moment. Feel free to chat away. I really appreciate that. And a big thank you once again to Hero Forge for giving us permission to use their images from their beautiful website for our characters and for our NPCs. Many of the character images are designed that we use are designed using Hero Forge, a wonderful way to create your own custom miniatures and get them 3D printed. You can find them at Hero Forge, www.heroforge.com. Please note that anything mentioned on the stream may not represent the view or beliefs of Hero Forge's Sky Castle Studios LLC product. And yet, from the bottom of our hearts, a big thank you for them being so generous to allow us to do that. Go check them out. It's incredible fun just messing around on their website, creating miniatures that you can then buy the files to get them 3D printed, or buying them direct from Hero Forge. You can create all sorts of things. But as I say, without further ado, we're going to zoom straight into this because we've got a lot to cover tonight in one of our more original settings, which is Scraplands. So first of all, in order of people booking on, registering, we're going to introduce our players and then we will introduce the characters later. So I'm going to use your handle names, Brooks729. Please, who are you? Welcome aboard.
I am the well-known person that is Stuart, or Brooks, as you say. I appear here, there, and everywhere, and tonight I'm going to be playing Fudd.
Excellent stuff. Welcome aboard once again, Stuart. Really appreciate all of your support and help. And you know, Thud is one of my favourite characters, so I'm going to really enjoy seeing how this plays out.
Yeah.
Then moving rapidly on to Primates. Hi, Primates. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Primate. I've played with Andy for a while. I'm on the vampire stream as well.
Yep.
Um, and I'm Primate in the Twitch and on the Discord. And I will be playing Bellerophos, the Centaur Artificer.
A beautiful name that I will accidentally mispronounce multiple times, and apologies for
I
that.
don't think you're the only one.
Okay, and then moving back on, we have J1 Bennett. Hiya, buddy. Introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, my name's Josh. I've only been playing with Andy since August, but I'm having a good time doing it, so I thought I'd give this a go as well. I'm playing Roger Atlas, the Bard.
Excellent stuff. Again, welcome aboard. It's great to have you involved in this project. Last but not least, we have Wizard Stuff. Please introduce yourself.
Good evening, everybody. I am Wizard Stuff on both here and on Discord. My real name's Daniel. I play Stephen Sinclair in The Smoke, and today I will be Bad the Death Cleric.
Bad the Death Cleric. I think that says it all, really. I think we can all go home now. Really looking forward to see how this one plays out as well. Okay, so that is our players introduced to you. They're going to be our regulars on Scraplands. without further ado, we will go straight into the game. Now, Scraplands, distant land, down far away, down under as it were. This is the Untold Chronicles fantasy version of what would be considered Australia, a vast continent of different terrains and jungles, outbacks, the bush, the reefs, a place of unexplored and lost civilizations, of monstrous creatures, and of the settlers that maybe against their will were brought here um, as a penal colony. It is a place of great invention, though, as pushing back the bounds of technology and working on some of this technology found in these ancient Warangi civilizations, that they have horseless carts and vehicles that can move at rapid speeds to cross this desolate wastelands. But we focus in now upon one of the major settlements fairly close to the coast, an ex-penal colony known as the Clink. And as I like to do, the camera sort of pans down upon this ex-prison town, now a settlement for freed jailbirds known as birds. And the camera pans down on our first of four characters and focuses in on Thud. And what does the camera see? And what are you doing this first dawn?
As the camera swings in, at first nobody will see Thud. There'll just be a pile of scrap, and then a loud banging will come from inside, and the scrap will fall over, and Thud will roll out as he wakes up from where he was falling asleep in the pile of scrap. He looks a little bit disorientated this morning. He's kind of his furs, he's kind of scrambled together, looking a bit dishevelled. He's kind of screaming something about bone demons and dinosaurs as he scrambles to his feet and looks around, grabbing his scrap war hammer that, to all intents and purposes, is just a big chunk of metal that he's got. As he looks around and is trying to work out where everybody is and why it's getting so cold outside, not realizing that that's what happens when you sleep outside in the scrap.
Yeah, indeed. And you know you've got a busy day ahead of you. You are one of the proprietors. It belongs to your family of tea leaves tinkerers, or Thud's Shed, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
And you had a rather unusual visitor last night, an out-of-town scrapper by the name of Wayne Doolan. I traded in some scrap as he normally does, but he has found a incredibly unusual item, a piece of Warangi technology that is shaped into the shape of almost a humanoid, kind of like the Warforged that you have seen moving around. But this is most definitely Warangi tech. It's not working though, and he's had to drag it along his vehicle. It needs tender, loving care to start getting it back into operating condition. He left it to you for you to start working on first thing in the morning, whilst he has headed out into the Clink to look for entertainment for the night. As you remember this and you begin to sort of focus on perhaps going to the workshop and beginning work, the camera pans away from you and moves towards Bellerafos. Hopefully I said that right.
That is entirely correct.
Awesome.
So, first thing in the morning, the sun presumably is already blazing down like it
Yeah,
always is here.
it's hot.
You hear the sounds of hooves come and from out of frame, and then comes into frame is a large centaur with a shotgun down by their side. He's wearing a large brimmed hat to keep off the sun, and over his shoulder he's got a brace of rabbits. He is going to be proceeding to take them to the thud shed.
Okay, excellent stuff. Sorry, did you describe what race you are?
I am a centaur. Sorry.
No, it's kind. You literally ride into town, but do you ride into town?
I walk into town.
Yeah, absolutely.
Centaurs are not horses.
Indeed. An imposing figure kind of arriving and heading straight for Thud Shed, someone that you know. And the camera once again sort of pans out and moves across to Bad. What do you look like? Introduce your character, and how do you wake up in the morning?
So Bad would be still sleeping by this point, his dreams dark and filled with a single empty robe that whispers to him to find more, to bring more, to not let me fade, do not let me fade. Babdkatha, you are my only pin to this world. At which point he would sort of crack, his eyes would snap open and he would lurch up in the bed of the bordello he's decided to spend the night in because, well, life is short and a good time is hard to come by, so let's get one done.
Okay.
He's a big guy, lumberjack build. He's graying skin, thick hands with sort of gnarled, clawed black fingernails. His hair is dark and graying, darker than his skin tone. It almost looks like a sort of a hood, nearly. His eyes eldritch green, and he sort of swings his legs around to the side, looks for any remnants of alcohol of the morning, and makes sure that whatever he brought in with him hasn't been nicked.
Yeah, you search around. You're aware this is an infamous place called Scarlet, and as you kind of reach out for remnants of alcohol from last night, you hear shouting as Marcus Murray, the new owner of the Bordello, and Scarlett Kennedy, the previous owner, are shouting at each other, and there are most definitely items being thrown as well. The noise is loud, the sun is bright coming through the window, and it's time to get on with something. This is not the most comfortable place to be in at the moment, although last night it was very comfortable. The camera pans out, and last but not least, we move across to Roger.
I think if you were to look at him, you'd spy him behind the front desk of the Thud Shed. He is, after all, just a humble retail employee. He stands there with a bored look in his face. He doesn't like the early mornings, but they pay the bills. His hair neatly coiffed as he gazes outside, waiting for the first customer of the day.
Okay, and the first customer, or certainly the first arrival, is Morella Foss. You hear the sounds of his approach, very familiar footfall. You can also hear from outside, from the back of the shack, you can hear the sound of thud, beginning to sort of wake up and move around. So we have here the beautiful sort of layout. I will share this with you. And let us put you onto what is going on here. So we add your characters to the combat tracker so we can all see where we are. At the moment, Roger, you are sort of in this area here.
Okay.
You're approaching here, and Thud is approaching here. At the moment, Bad, you are stirring, but probably heading towards them anyway. You are aware that this is kind of where the workshop is. This is where you do much of the work. This acts as sort of a sleeping area and sort of the workshop as well. Not workshop, but the front of counter dealing offices and the like. And then this property here is a bar known as, I'll just call this up for you, known as the Piston. It has many connotations, as in the piston that operates machinery, or it can be taken out of context however you particularly want to. It's not actually open yet, but it does open its doors for breakfasts and the like as well. So, Thud, you are the first person to see Bell Foss riding in. You can hear his sounds as well. This this device, this piece that you need to be working upon, is obviously in your workshop across the way from you.
Oh, well, if it's across the way and Bellerophos is here, let's go see Bellerophos. That sounds more fun.
So
Bellerophos, Bellerophos.
Hey up there, boy. Brought you a rabbit for the morning.
Yeah, fresh meat. It's good.
How's the day find you?
I had very weird dreams. There was a bone demon. There's some guy person called Ash. I think it was a knoll or something. It was weird.
You've been drinking too much of the runoff from the piston.
You know, I'm not allowed to do that. But I wouldn't do that. I definitely wouldn't do. No, definitely not.
Squincy.
And what brings you over here?
Hmm.
You just brought me breakfast. That's kind.
I just wondered if you had a chance to speak to your Ma and Da about possibly getting me that job.
Oh yeah, I was going to do that, wasn't I?
I know where there's no
Let's see
hurry.
Should we go see if they're in? I think they're. Roger.
Thud, where are you? Thud, and he'll
There you are.
toddle.
You see my mum and pa?
Not this morning. I think they set off, but I'm sure they'll be back sooner rather than later. You know they don't like to leave for long.
All right. Well, Bellerophos is here for him. He got me a rabbit.
Oh well, I know you like your meat in the mornings, bud.
Right.
Are
Okay.
you going to cook this rabbit, by the way, Thud?
He's going to head into the workshop and use the flames in there and do a
Yes.
terrible job of it. Yes.
Yeah.
I would not let Thud eat a raw rabbit.
Yeah, especially not from the outback.
Uh-huh.
These rabbits the fur is all mangy. There are tufts of it where it has just not grown back. One of them has different coloured eyes. Another one is sort of albino but dirty. These are wild outback creatures.
I think it adds to the flavour.
Indeed.
just like the shotgun pellets.
Okay, so it's easy enough for you to enter the workshop. You can go in there and you do see that within the workshop itself is this clockwork soldier of sorts just across here. This most definitely sort of Warangi device. I can share this picture with you as well, kind of standing there. That looks like it would do if you managed to do a good job on clearing it up. Obviously, at the moment, it's all sort of damaged and dented, not operational at all.
Fudd's wondering which hammer to use to try to repair him already.
It's about this time that Bad, if you were making your way out of the bordello, you would be beginning to arrive, seeing that there is activity going on around this area already. I've just dropped your character into there as well. You see that Roger and Thud have entered the workshop. Thud manically looking around for some kind of hammer of sorts.
I'd know the centaur in front of me, wouldn't I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'd stroll on up to him, sort of happy as Larry, hands resting on the hilts of my axes, and just walk up to the centaur and be like, "Morning, Trigger. How are you doing today?"
Oh, hello there. I see that you're still stinking up the place.
Well, you know, horse or death, one of the two, isn't it?
Yeah.
What are you doing down these ways, anyway?
Oh, just find myself travelling nowadays. Do you remember the mine shut down? So I find myself with a lot of time on my hands. Yeah.
I meant today specifically, but all right, cool. Good to know your life. You seen the small one around?
Yeah, he's in the old workshop over there.
About this sort of time, there's a very loud thud comes from inside. Yeah, this would all do.
We should probably go check on him.
Yeah, make sure he's not dead.
And I head inside the workshop.
Yeah, you can move. You're not initiative at the moment. As you kind of move into the workshop, you see that Thud has got. What describe this hammer? What kind of hammer have you chosen?
Fudd is very much playing up to his intelligence score here by picking out the largest hammer that he is able to lift.
Okay.
So it's very much sledgehammer kind of thing, and he's just smacking it onto the floor at the moment and going, "Yeah, this is good." And then he's going to start slowly walking towards this clockwork soldier. Go
Right.
clean it up.
So this clockwork soldier is undoubtedly anybody who has spent any time in the Scratchlands, Warangi technology. It's potentially worth a fortune, especially if you could get it operational. Yeah, this is worth it, and you can see that the device that Thud has to repair it is perhaps not the most delicate of items.
Thumb me boy, may I question your technique with that specific device?
Oh, I've got good technique with this one. Get a really good swing on it.
What's this thing you managed to find?
We've brought in Warangi tech again. I reckon it could be worth something, but we've got to get it cleaned up first. Best way to get some dirt off something. Good hard Thud. Cool. Go smack it.
Is
I think
anybody? Yeah.
I think Roger would step in and kindly, almost timidly walk up to Thud. He'd reach a slow hand out to try and touch Thud's shoulder, and then think better of it and withdraw it into his other hand, and start wringing them together slightly and go, Thud, Mr. Tea Leaves, sir, I'm not sure
I like it when
this
you call
is the
me
type
sir.
of cleanup that I think your ma and pa meant.
Oh,
And he takes out his tinker tools off his belt and he goes, perhaps some of these might be in order?
am I meant to hit something with them? They're tiny.
I mean, if you think of it this way, sir, if you clean it up properly, it'll do hitting things with you. Or at least that's what it looks like.
Oh, that would be amazing.
And he holds out his tinker's tools again.
Mm.
Fud's going to kind of reach out and take them and look at them, very confused as to how they work. But he's going to take them if they're offered and go and give it a try.
If you need any more help, Thud, sir, I'll be over here. Just give me a call. I need to watch the front just in case we get any more customers bringing in stuff like this.
Roger, stop calling me sir.
Don't worry, Roger. I'll keep an eye
It's-
on him.
Yeah,
Give him any assistance necessary.
it's a force of habit. You know how your father can be. It's one of those things, I suppose. And he'll
He's
toddle
awful.
off to the front of these doors, and
Okay.
Roger will grunt some assertion of a similar sentiment.
Can I? Thud, do you mind if I take a look first?
Oh, okay, but I want to fud it at some point. I want to hit it hard. Or I want it to hit something hard. Roger said it will hit something hard. That sounds good.
It's just knowing the appropriate spot for a hammer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good thinking.
Can I examine it with Tinker's tools?
Yeah.
Or
Absolutely. So, what skills do you have? Have you got proficiency with tinkerer's tools?
I'm an artificer.
You're
Yes.
artificer. So that is very useful. Very, very useful. So absolutely. So it's a proficiency check. I will allow you to use kind of intelligence or wisdom and your proficiency to make a roll, really. So yeah, go for it. Oh, look at that.
Natural 19. That's a first roll.
Yeah, it's a good roll. Absolutely, a very good roll. And it's battered and it's bent and it's certainly not like the picture at the moment. But with that roll, you can see that it's kind of strange. There is still within it a power source, a sort of a glowing green set of power. And you think that this could be activated. But you also notice with that roll that there is something that seems to be blocking the transfer of power to its main systems. As if something has been wedged in there.
Does it look like intentional sabotage?
With that roll, which is basically like a critical hit at level 1, yeah, I mean, it looks like it's been intentionally shoved in there, as opposed to sort of happened by mistake. It's almost like there's a small sphere that is kind of lodged into the center of this Warangi soldier.
If you look at this little gizmo here, I think this thing could be turned back on. If this thing is pulled out, look.
If I pull this bit here, yeah, okay.
That bit, yeah.
Fud's going to pull it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can choose either strength, athletics, or you can choose sleight of hand if you're going to try and get it out. Yeah, you don't miss a beat as you kind of get your smaller hand into the inner workings of this and you grasp this orb. And as you kind of pull it out, two things happen at the same time. Firstly, the power source connects with the Warangi soldier, activating it. And secondly, the orb begins to sort of glow. And when it glows, it begins to shed on one single flat horizontal plane a bright blue light. Upon the blue light, you can see there's various different bits of relief. It's kind of like, in the few moments you get to look at it, sort of some kind of holographic map type device. But before you get a chance to examine it properly, I think we all knew this was going to happen. The Warangi soldier is activate and goes into alert mode as it starts activating. It is not at full strength, you'll be pleased to know, but I am going to require initiative rolls as we go into our very first
Fud's
battle.
happy. Fud's not
Saw it
prepared though.
coming, but I wasn't particularly interested in it.
And we do an initiative roll for this creature here. So we have our initiatives, and Roger, wherever you are,
I'm over by the doors,
you
keeping
see
an ear
this.
out.
Yeah, perfect. Let us zoom into where you are. And you hear this kind of whirl. It's trying to right itself. It's in a very bad, battered state. Certainly not fully operational, but it grabs this large hellbar device that has kind of fused with its hand and begins to go into an attack mode.
I think what he'll do is he'll move so we can get a bit of a better sight on it.
Yeah.
All he saw was that blue light, so I think he started to peek his head around. We'll move there just 15 feet, and
Perfect.
then what I think we'll do. Is there an intelligence roll to be had about this creature?
So
Uh,
if you're going to spend your 6 seconds trying to seek
uh,
out knowledge about it, you're more than welcome
yes,
that you
I'm,
can do.
I'm more or less trying to figure out, because it is an automaton.
Mhm.
Is it susceptible to psychic damage as per my bardic abilities? Is more or
Okay.
less what I want to know here.
But this is going to take your action if you're going to do
That's
it for
fine.
this turn.
Yeah,
Okay. So
that's fine.
give us a um, nature roll, I guess.
Nature.
Yeah.
Could I convince you to Arcana instead?
Go on then. I suppose Arcana
Yeah,
is.
I'm impressed with
that's
the charisma
Um,
playing here already.
So the great news is that's a really good roll and you get the information that you want. The bad news is the information that you want to get is not the information that you want, as you realise
yeah.
this thing is immune to psychic damage. It
Thought it
is
might have been, but it's always
also
worth an ask.
immune to being charmed, frightened, paralysed, petrified, and perhaps even poisoned, as it is not a creature of flesh.
Yes. Pick the right campaign for a bard.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
believe me, there's plenty of gangers and mutants that
yeah.
you
I'm
can psych out.
with the last of my turn. I'm going to offer Thud some bardic inspiration in the form of a please hit it now. Now is good.
Hit it, yeah.
Yeah,
Very nice.
and that'll be my turn, I think.
Yeah, no, that's good. You've uncovered some information about it, and you have inspired Thud. We will see whether Thud is still standing by the end of the turn now. We move to Bad.
Bad's going to take one step forward, take both axes in hand, and just look at Thud and go, "Do you want this thing taken down, or should I attack it?" And I'm just going to hold my action to react to aggression from the machine itself.
Okay. So when you ready your action, I don't know whether you've got multi-attack or offhand attacks, but when you ready your action, you will only be able to attack once, just so you're
Yeah, that's
aware of
fine.
that. Okay, and you get your desire as it raises the halberd and goes to strike at Thud due to the fact that Thud is holding the thing that you ripped out. So you can target the Warangi soldier, and you
Yeah.
can make an attack roll.
Oh. No, I'm targeting myself. What am I doing that for?
Yeah, don't do that.
Careful of that. You're
I'm
still targeting yourself.
Cool.
targeting both at the moment.
Oh, I don't know why I don't know why that happened.
It's because you're targeting everybody. It's okay. You are now targeting the Warangi soldier battle axe, so you automatically missed against the Warangi soldier with a natural 1. Now that is a critical miss.
Oh.
So I don't want to be too. So I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say you slam your axe down hard, sort of missing it, and it slams into the ground, and it kind of, when you hit something really hard and you kind of get those vibrations through your hand,
Yeah.
your hand begins to sort of numb. It is particularly uncomfortable as you rapidly missed. True to form, this thing is going to target Thud, and is going to just swing at Thud, hitting, and yeah, doing a lot of damage as you take 10 points of damage. This thing
Really
is
glad that wasn't a crit.
not messing about. You see that it's fortunately only got 1 attack, but this thing is powerful. Then we move to
Bellerophos.
Bellerophos.
Yeah, the Fresh Prince of Bellerophos.
Yeah.
You can remember it like that. That's not why he's named that. Bellerophos is going to reach down to a small spool that's on his belt, grab a piece of wire from it, and throw it towards the Warangi soldier.
Yeah.
As it connects, turn on the power, and it's a shocking grasp.
Perfect. So you will get advantage with this. It's definitely made of metal, so go for that.
So it'll be that.
You can click on the advantage button. So yeah, definitely hit with that.
And the damage is that.
Wow. Oh dear. This is not how I anticipated combat going.
No reactions from it, but
it's got no reactions now, which is good. I don't know whether you want to back away from it or not, but
yeah, probably.
Fundamentally, it can't take reactions, and the nice news is that electrical damage definitely sort of damages it. With that done, we move to Thud.
Well, Thud is not happy about getting hit, and he lets out what he thinks is a terrifying scream as he rages.
Yeah. Very nice.
And then he is going to try and hit this thing with his warhammer.
Give us a roll. You do.
You've got to target
it. The good news is its armor class, I don't mind telling you this, is 12. So that would have hit. So give us a damage. So you clonk it for 9 points of damage. And we move to the top, and Roger.
I hit it, Roger, I hit it.
Good lad. Stay there, I'm on the way. And what Roger's going to do, he's going to close straight to Thud. I'm just trying to do the maths, see if we can get there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Should be able to get right up in his business.
Yep, you can definitely get into his business. Most of his business is spilt over the floor at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to fix. And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds. Combat mode, please. There we go. cast that on him.
Perfect.
It won't let me cast a spell on him. There we go. Heal, thud.
Boom, 5
Not
points.
great, but it is what it is.
It is better than nothing.
It is
So,
better than nothing.
you do that.
Uh,
Anything else you want to do?
I'm gonna throw some inspiration Bad's way as well.
Okay, perfect.
Roger's quite scared of you, and he's gone. If you want to try again, but not do it wrong, that'd be great.
Okay, so
That's
you
fun.
have some inspiration now, Bad, and we move to your turn.
Bad's going to look to the bard and smirk in appreciation of his goal to call him up on the fact that he missed with an axe swing.
Okay, your hand's still numb.
I'm going to come up behind it, and as a dual wielder, can I make 2 attacks or just the one?
It depends on the skill you've got. Let me just have a look. What skills have you got? Abilities. You've taken the feat dual wielder. Let us have a look. You master fighting with 2 weapons. Gain the following weapons: +1 bonus to attack while you're wielding separate melee. You can use 2 weapon fighting even when one-handed weapons you're wielding aren't light. You can draw or stow one. Yeah. So this means you can use your bonus action to attack with your offhand. So you can do 2 attacks.
But unless you've got the fighting style, you don't add your.
Yeah, you don't add your modifier for the offhand.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. Right, I'm just going to take 2 huge swings at this thing with my axes.
So one at a time. Your first attack
Yes.
with your main hand is definitely a hit. So give me some damage for that. Hitting it, and then with your offhand.
Another one.
Another miss. That is 2
Jesus.
natural ones. So with this, I'm going to say the weapon swings wide this time, flies out of your hand. This is 2 critical fails, and slams into the wood right next to Bellerifos. Not hitting him, but it is quite scary as it just kind of reducing you to 1 weapon in your hand.
Cool.
The Warangi soldier still sees that you have got this this thing in your hand and is going to try and attack you again. And it misses you, Thud, this time, where it slams it down, which is a real shame. Then we move to Bellerifos.
I'm going to reach over if I can,
Yep.
grab the axe, pull it out the table,
Yep.
and then throw it at the Warangi soldier.
Yep.
By throw, I mean cast catapult on it.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful.
It
I'm
just
more than
flies
happy
through.
with that. So you need to force it to make a dex save, I believe.
I do. That's in here. So the save. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, very good. Dex save. I don't know why it's got.
impressive that it had advantage and still got a 5
Yeah.
and a 1.
I don't know why it had advantage unless you clicked an advantage for it. It
I
has.
had advantage from last time, but I didn't click it again.
No,
Anyway.
I was going to say it had advantage on its dex save, which I'm not sure it does. It's got magic.
Has it got magic resistance?
It has got
That's
magic resistance, yeah, because it's a Warangi tech. Warangi check is notoriously resistant to magic. But it doesn't matter as you catapult that, doing a horrific 15 points of damage, which has blooded it. And you see it stirring up for an overdrive fury. You see it begin to really speed up. That is not looking good. You see it sort of start blurring as it starts swinging this thing around. It's going to have 4 attacks next turn.
Potsy. Bud
Bloody
is
Nora.
Yeah.
Bud is just still going to do his version of that, and he's going to cast Warhammer.
Okay, cast the spell Warhammer. You hit.
And then he is going to do some damage.
Oh,
Yes.
14 points of damage as you crack this thing.
Wow.
It begins to speed up even faster, just waiting for its turn. And for all the people on the stream can see this beautiful overdrive fury effect. The soldier makes 4 halberd attacks. There is a downside to it. After taking this action, it is stunned to the end of its next turn. That said, if there are nobody standing, it does not matter. Roger, you see this killing machine begin to blur. What do you want to do?
Leave.
Leave.
In no uncertain terms. Roger's a lover, not a fighter, I'm afraid. So what he's going to do is he's going to back up from Thud, having done his piece.
Mm-hmm.
Patching Thud up is not something that he's unused to doing by any stretch.
Okay.
As he moves, though, he would like to draw and fire his hand crossbow, if that's all right with you.
Perfect.
Not a great bonus to hit, but I am a bard.
You do
Oof.
indeed hit. His armor class is only 12. Doing
Negligible, but it is what it is.
2 points of damage. But look at the effect.
Well, we've all won here.
As this
Roger,
thing
you got it.
clatters and smashes to the ground in multiple pieces. You have definitely destroyed this thing. It is no more than scrap now, unfortunately. I'm just curious why it is. Yeah, this is very strange. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely destroyed.
I think Ma and Pa are going to be angry that it's broken again. Can we fix it?
I think they'll just be happy. Their little
No,
boy's
you
safe.
absolutely cannot. Roger
Aw.
storms over. He's not best
Roger, you
pleased
got
with
it.
how this has turned out.
Roger, you killed it. I'm getting.
Yeah,
Ma
well,
and
I
Pa
mean,
will
it
be
was
so happy when I
killing
tell
you.
them.
I think they'd rather have you than this bot. Although with your father's moods, I'm not too sure, to be honest.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy.
I mean, are you all right? Do you need me to patch you up again, or?
I'm feeling great.
Okay, then I can't argue with that.
Still
And he,
so happy.
he looks at Bad and he goes, "Are you feeling all right? You've got 2 axes, but you can only seem to make one of them work."
Think you're funny for a bar, don't you?
I mean,
I was having an off
you
day.
laugh or you'll
I
cry.
had a good night last night, so you wanna try me? I'll show you just how good I am with 2 axes.
Oh no. And he looks over at Beleriphus and he goes,
Who's currently kneeling down and just poking through the scrap.
yeah, he was going to say, what do you think of this now? And where's the bauble that you pulled out of it?
Yeah, the bauble, I'm assuming you just dropped it to use your weapon two-handed. Is that right?
Yeah. He has picked it up again now
yeah,
as
yeah.
he's walked over
So
towards
it's
the fire.
across there. It's kind of spinning, almost like a spinning top, spraying out this holographic kind of blue light. So we've got a number of things. You can easily pick this thing up. That is not a problem, and you'll probably want to investigate it in a minute. But we go to Beleriphos. Give me another tinkering roll, basically. It's also a critical fail on the ability check.
Yep.
Yeah, this is truly scrap. I mean, it is Warengi scrap, so it's probably got a value to it. But beyond that, it's not repairable.
Yeah, this is just junk now. Still valuable for materials, maybe, but not much else.
So yeah, you spend a bit of time going through that. That does take you some time. It
Yep.
allows you time to have a look at this bauble that you've got.
Oh no, Fud's gone off over to the fire to start cooking the rabbit.
All right.
He picked up the bauble, but he's already forgotten about it as he's now cooking the rabbit.
Okay. So you kind of see that Thud is cut in half as this blue light sort of cuts through his body and appears on the other side of him. He's not physically cut in half. The light
Oh,
has
good.
just dissected through him.
I might regret not looking at it if that was the case.
Well, if that looks especially healthy. Yeah.
But it seems to sort of penetrate his body and sort of come out the other side as you do that. And he's now sort of absent-mindedly trying to cook this rabbit on the forge, as it were.
Making a mess with a knife at the moment.
Roger, do you want to go see if see why Thud's so transparent right now?
Can I have a look? I'll see if he'll let me have it. He's probably forgot he's holding it, to be honest. And Roger will go up and he won't really speak to Thud. He'll just try and pry it out of his hand.
Yeah. What? Oh, yeah. Sure, have it.
What is it, Andy? You said it
Okay,
looks
so
like
it's
some
like
kind of
a
map.
small silver orb about the size of a tennis ball. It's definitely Warangi tech. And then sort of coming out of it like the rings of Saturn is this blue light. And as you kind of position it and you look at this blue light, which is just like this thin horizontal sort of hologram, really, you realize as you begin to move around that the light moves and oscillates. Give me an investigation roll.
Okay. Might need an assist, but we'll have a look. See.
I know
Oh,
that
I
is
think I
very
got it.
good. So as you kind of move it around and look, you realise that this is actually, as you look down upon it, a 3D map, holographic map. And as you begin to look at it closer, you realise within the holographic map itself, there is one location that is almost like a beacon, sort of flashing on and off, as if this is a map or guide to a particular location.
Call over. He'll walk over to Bad and kind of motion at Larifus to come over as well, and he'll hold it up and go. I'm sorry about before. I'm not used to this much adrenaline in the workplace. I didn't mean to rib you. It's just it happens sometimes if I'm particularly excited. And he'll look up at them both, and he'll go. It appears to be a map. You've not seen anything like that in the wilds, have you? Anything that matches this description? And he basically he's asking if those guys have seen anywhere that might look like this
Okay.
place.
You can give me survival rolls. So yeah, anybody wants to give me a survival? That's good.
I will.
Yep.
Yeah, Roger doesn't leave town much.
Bav, making up for your axe skills. So yeah, both Belarifos and you, Bad. You don't recognise the place, but you sort of more locally to where the centre of it is. You recognise a number of land features. You recognise one of the gashes, which is one of the farms that are close by, and sort of looking at it, you think that this is maybe about a week's journey out, and it's in quite dangerous lands. They're kind of untamed, wild, with many gangs sort of vying for that territory. But also with those roles, you come to the conclusion that this is some kind of maybe homing beacon, And with this being Warangi technology, it's probably a beacon to even more Warangi tech, which could be worth a fortune.
Eyes slowly go up to everybody else.
Yeah.
Well then. Third, Roger, where did your guy find this thing? Where did he find this thing again?
What?
As far as I'm aware, he didn't say. I'd left for the night, but when I came in, he told me he'd dropped it off to let Thud have a look at it. But no, that's about it.
Yeah, Wayne likes me. He always brings me good stuff. Yeah. I wonder what he's doing at the moment. Maybe I should go and see if he's brought anything else in.
As start as any.
Fudd then suddenly panics and looks down at the bit of meat he's been trying to cook on the forge, which is now very heavily burnt on one side and entirely raw on the other, and shrugs and goes to start eating it.
I suppose he's got some right to this claim for bringing it.
I mean, I suppose, but we've paid him for his trouble. By all rights, it's ours.
No,
Well, he leaves.
it's
Do
not.
we not?
The thing was put in for cleaning and repair. It hasn't been sold to you.
Yeah, it's quite the opposite.
It's quite the opposite. The property that should have been cleaned and repaired is now a pile of scrap.
I do
Yeah,
have
Roger did that.
I mean, I reckon we could probably build some kind of suit out of this. We could build something that Roger could get into. And then Roger could, for a brief period, pretend to be the Warangi soldier until he's got a chance to slip away.
I think we might have to like cut off his arms and legs. I think I saw a saw around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, lads, come on now. And he'll look pleadingly at Bad, just to try and goad him into stopping them.
This is the cleric of death that you look pleadingly at.
Roger's more focused on the cleric portion of this statement.
Yeah, Roger, good thinking. Yeah, he's got some axes. We could use them to take off the legs.
Roger is horrified.
I mean, to be honest, I think skinning him would be the better idea.
What?
Well, you can't have just a man inside some armor. He's going to notice. Take his skin off, maybe paint him in silver. Could pass him as a machine.
We don't want to torture them, man.
Oh, it's not torture. He doesn't have to be alive.
Well, this suddenly got very dark.
Roger looks like he's about to cry, like flat out about to cry. He knows there's rough people around, but he tries to distance himself, and it appears that one of them has landed himself in his lap. And not only that, he appears to have goaded him not once but twice. He's regretting everything that he's done up to this point.
I mean, like you said to me before, Roger, you're unsure how good I am with access. Well, I can show you now. Which part do you like?
Maybe.
Arm.
I'll tell you what. Why don't we go and find Doolin? He might have more of a lead. We have to tell him about his property anyway, so this might be the opportunity we need.
Whose property? You hear from the doorway as a number of individuals begin to move forward.
Oh, we've got new customers, guys. Hello.
They look at you. You recognise these easily as scrappers. They've got bits of scrap sort of bound to their hands, piecemeal sort of junk armour. They are the enforcers of Elizabeth Glen.
These guys have got so much scrap, they've taped it to themselves. They've fastened it to themselves. It looks amazing. Can I do that?
Hey up, lads.
Hiya.
What do you require?
We've come to collect some property that belongs to Miss Glen.
All right. What's your feeling on jigsaw puzzles?
What? They're not the brightest of individuals.
Fudd feels at home.
I think I understand the insinuation. Roger's going to move to the other side of the fire pit so we can see them. What particular property are you talking about? We do have a large selection of stock on offer. We were just wondering what it was you come to collect in particular.
Well, Miss Glenn got lucky last night, and it seems that someone left something here that has changed hands now. Some kind of Warangi technology. She'd rather have her own people look at it rather than amateurs. She said, her
Hey.
words, not mine.
Oh, all right.
Well, that's understandable. Miss Glenn is, of course, a wonderful customer to have. But if she doesn't feel we're up to the task, that is all well and good. But I would ask that you implore her to give us a chance. We may well surprise her.
She has told us to do this task, and only someone who is been left out in the sun for far too long would disobey her words. So
That's
this mechanical
understandable.
man, let us have it, and we'll be on our way. I'm assuming there's no problems.
Oh no, of course not. Do you happen to have any particular receipt? It's just in case Doolan had a few too many to drink and has forgotten his dealings last night, just so we can allay any fears.
Do we look like the kind of individuals that need receipts? I mean, I tell you
No,
what, how about we take you to see Miss Glenn and you can ask her for a receipt?
that won't be necessary. Did you bring a cart by chance? I think you might need one. It is heavy, after all. I know there's 4 of you, but it's always easier to be prepared.
It's okay,
Um,
we've got Bruce, and you kind of see there's like this huge, kind of straight out of Mad Max, the really big guy, sort of behind, kind of moves forward. Bruce here, he can carry it.
Hey, Bruce.
Bruce looks, a kind of drool comes out of his mouth as he kind of grins at you. You're not quite sure whether he's all there, to be honest. But he
Fud is really
smiles.
feeling at home with these guys.
Well, we don't want
Yeah.
to keep Miss Glenn waiting, so this mechanical man, this Warangi warrior.
I think we should load it in a sack for the fellas. I know, for proper packaging. It's important.
Roger, oh, that's a splendid idea. A splendid idea. Bear with us just a moment, and we'll make it easy for Bruce to carry. We'd hate for anything to get left behind after Miss Glenn has put a lot of work into acquiring such a piece, and he's gonna ask for a help while he goes and retrieves a sack or a barrow or
Yeah,
whatever.
you've got
Whatever
plenty
it
of
is.
stuff here. Bruce moves forward and starts looking in the fire and does that thing of trying to catch a coal, and it burns him. He kind of retracts back, looks at his hand, and then does it again.
Brilliant.
Fud calls over it. Try and do it with your tongue. It's fun.
Uh, he picks up a coal and then begins to walk towards you.
Who?
Thud.
Good. Oh, thank God.
Kind of looks at you, Thud. As it's
Hello.
burning, you see that it's kind of gone through the flesh now and is getting close to the bone.
That looks really hot.
Show me, as he kind of puts it towards your face.
Fud sticks his tongue out.
Okay, Thud takes 1 fire damage.
Fud runs around for a little bit, trying to remember where he put the water.
Okay. He kind of laughs and then chucks it in. He doesn't seem to feel pain, although he's definitely taken some damage there. Scrapper 1 is now Bruce.
Of course he is. Brilliant.
Okay,
Right, it was
so
right.
these don't seem to really know what they're looking for, and it's relatively easy for you to pile this into a sack or a crate. And
Sorry.
yeah, go on. So,
Whilst they're doing that, can I use? Sorry, I'll just check.
Thinking.
Can I use magical tinkering to get an object round here and make it so an object continuously emits an odor?
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
What kind of
I think
odor
it's
would you
unlikely.
like it to emit?
Strawberries.
Strawberries. That's a nice odor. Very nice odor.
Mm.
Okay, and what would you like to do with said object?
I would like to put it in the sack with the rest of the stuff, with the rest of the working.
Okay.
So hopefully, it's something weird enough that they think it's like
Right.
related.
You're not quite sure. You're fairly certain these are just not worried. They don't know what they've come for. But
Yeah,
when
and at
this
the other end, I'll probably figure it
the
out.
other
Yeah.
end is once Miss Glenn becomes aware of what's happened, you are in quite a lot of trouble. Bruce just picks up this crate and begins to sort of move off with it. Boom, 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 boom. All right, lads. Thanks for your help. If Miss Glenn's got any problems, I'm sure we'll be back in touch. They begin to sort of leave.
Bye.
Yeah.
My tongue.
Okay.
Question your wisdom sometimes, Dad.
Yeah, but it was fun.
Roger
Boys will be
Again.
boys.
looks like he's about to cry.
Okay.
This is not how he saw his day going. He thought they might come by, but not so quickly. He's had enough. He wants to take a nap.
Anyway, I will be leaving town shortly. Any of you are welcome to join me.
Well, I
Why
probably
would you
should
need
now.
to leave town?
Well, there's a whole lot of dangerous scrappers about, and when and
Bruce
everything.
is fun.
Oh, Bruce is a good lad. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll crush your head like a walnut before you know it.
Yeah. Probably before
Oh.
he knows it.
Yeah, he's got that stupid brain.
What about that orb thing? Did we give that to them?
No, I don't think so.
No.
No.
Have I still got it? One of us has it. In any case.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Do you reckon that's worth some money?
The orb itself? No, probably not. Would Roger have seen these come into the shed before? Is it something that does happen occasionally, or is it this like a one-off,
This is
never
a
before
one-off.
seen
You've
kind of
never
phenomenon?
seen anything like this before.
Mm.
I mean, Wurengi technology is very rare in this kind of state. Normally, you get kind of maybe some internal workings, or you'll get a sort of bit of plate from it, an outer carapace or something like that. But you never get anything that was in such good condition. And it also did have a working power source as well.
Yeah.
It was in a very, very bad state of repair, which
It's
is
even
why
worse now.
you managed to sort of defeat it relatively easily. You'd think in its prime, when it was functioning properly, it would have been a truly devastating kind of piece of technology. But you've never seen anything come in that kind of working state before from Warengi Tech.
Okay. I think Roger would affirm that maybe while the orbits were something itself, that perhaps what the true value lies in where it's leading us.
If we go there, figure out whether there's anything to the claim, then we can sell that claim later. At least then we know how much it's actually worth.
Provided we come back.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
fine.
I don't
we'll,
know.
we'll
I
just
don't
get
really think we can
Bellerophon.
come back.
We'll just get Bellerophon to fire an axe at somebody. That was awesome.
Well, I was
Roger
provided
sighs.
with it.
Yeah, it was good
Roger
thinking there, Bad, to throw him your axe.
Yeah, when life gives you lemons.
Throw lemons.
Well, I see the man messing around with bits of wire and trying to do his weird tinkery things. I thought I'd give him a proper weapon.
It was a
See what
natural
he's actually
conclusion.
made of.
Mm.
Well, I don't know about you lads, but I don't know what that thing is, but it's leading us towards the gash, or at least somewhere close to that. Now, I've never walked that far for gash before, but we just lied to a pretty big mob boss. We should probably leave.
It's mosey.
So,
Do we?
yeah,
I'm going to leave
Do
a
we-
note for Ma and Pa. It'll be fine. Go on, Roger. We'll join them. Be fun.
Yeah. Roger will write on the bottom of the note, "I've gone with him to make sure he doesn't get himself killed. Please don't fire me."
Which is more words than the rest of the note. Just the rest of the note just says Ma, Pa, gone, back later.
so does the note say where you are going?
Flood won't mention it.
No. And does the note say why you are leaving?
Flood doesn't think that far ahead.
Okay, so it's just we're going, followed by please don't fire me. Okay, I can live with that. Okay, so the clink itself, you rapidly gather your belongings up. I'm assuming just kind of starting equipment is all you're going to go. Are you going to try and access anything else, or is that everything that you want to take with you? You know that it's going to be at least a week's journey into the wastes. You know that there are gangers out there, different factions. None of you, even you, Bella Frost, have never travelled this far before. It's going to be dangerous.
If somebody was perhaps an outlander, would they be able to find food in this?
Yeah, you can always find. I mean, those rabbits that you found from the outback. It's genuinely a very treacherous area, though. Many of the creatures out there are either poisonous or venomous. The weather conditions are horrifying. There are dust storms. There are strange clouds of sort of putrid fog that seem to carry sickness with it as well. There are creatures that have been changed beyond all recognition that are out there as well. So truly terrifying outside the boundaries of the clink. But it seems that that is what you have set your mind onto.
As residents of the Clink, do we know if there's any sort of, as I say, shuttle, it'll be a coach, but like transportation out of the Clink, sort of, guarded or safe wise, or is it just on foot?
There are coaches, kind of like stage coaches. They're more akin to sort of kind of diesel punk buses, though, so animals don't draw them. They do run on fuel, although some of the bigger ones are pulled by great sort of lizard-like creatures.
Mm.
They're not going in the direction of where you need to go, but taking one of those stages out of the clink will get you closer, at least by a couple of days.
Is there any chance we could rent some horses?
Uh,
Sorry, I'm
Aw.
half joking.
yeah.
Bellerifos, I thought I could ride on you.
Wow.
Oh, get on.
Disgusting.
Roger would pose the question to the group as to whether they want to speak to Wayne Doolan before they leave.
Not considering his possible location.
Roger nods grimly and agrees. He just wanted to make sure all the options were out there first,
Yeah.
even ones as grim as that.
This way at least gives him plausible deniability. If we find some stuff and he's pissed, then we throw some breakers his way.
I mean, or we could just get him in on it and make sure that, he gets the blame as well.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that, you can more than welcome to do that. It's unlikely that he be in Elizabeth Glenn's place now, known as Breakers, the gambling hall. He's more likely either back at Scarlet's, the bordello, or maybe even in one of the boarding houses or inns, sort of bars and pubs, drunk there. So you wouldn't necessarily need to go to Breakers. With it being a gambling house, it doesn't really do accommodation. So you could try and search for him should you wish to. There is a stage going out to an outlying sort of town that will get you closer by a couple of days. It goes by the name. I'm just going to put it into chat here. Chibuka. It's out in the outback, moving towards the interior. So that is also an option should you wish to do that. So you've got some choices. The stage is going to leave in a couple of hours, so you've got a couple of hours to gather your gear, say your goodbyes, search for Wayne should you wish to, but the choice is yours.
Guys, is this going to be all like camping and everything? It's going to be amazing. Why is everybody quiet? It's going to be amazing, isn't it?
It's a hell of a trip.
Yeah.
If we don't die, it'll be fun, I guess.
Just be careful. It's not too bad.
Yeah, but like camping out and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I say we take the stagecoach out to Jabuka. Save us a few days on foot.
Yeah.
I looked at Bellerifos. You can get on buses, right? You can fit on those.
Oh yeah.
Because
I
worst comes to worst, we
can
can strap it to the roof.
That'd be funny.
appreciate a little more respect, son. But all right.
Son, really? Me?
Yeah, him.
Yeah. Human, yeah.
Horseman, yeah. Let's not start fighting between each other, shall we?
I'll have you know I'm half the man you are.
So
clearly, in more ways than one. Anyway, who's the asshole who sold you this armor or gave it to you or whatever? Did you want to see him?
Oh, Wayne? Yeah, go see Wayne.
Okay, so you're going to have to find him first. So give me some investigation rolls as you kind of move around the clink, trying to ask if anybody's seen him.
With Wayne coming in more often, well, as a scrap seller,
Mm-hmm.
would I know his favourite watering hole just anyway, or could I
You
roll
can
to
you can have
remember that?
advantage on your roll for saying that. Absolutely. You are a charismatic character, and you seem to be a gentle soul that would talk to people. So with your knowledge, Roger, and with Bav's investigation, you do find him at Scarlet's Bordello. Now, with your knowledge, Bav, you are aware that Scarlet's Bordello is currently under new occupation ownership. It is currently owned now by Marcus Murray rather than Scarlett Kennedy. But Marcus Murray is an employee of Elizabeth Glenn, so by default, it's kind of part of Glenn's empire of sin. It depends on how you want to approach this.
Like we've already found him in there.
Well, you're aware that that's where he was staying. It seems part of his deal with Elizabeth Glenn was the run of the bordello as well.
Lucky bastard.
Well, it was Warengi working tech.
It was.
Yeah.
Who am I with? Roger.
I feel that you're making a mistake here, but do whatever keeps you honest.
I mean,
Why? What's the worst that can happen? We go in, Glenn's there, and everybody has a nice time.
yeah, but this place is now under the thumb of what was her name again? Elizabeth
Glenn.
Elizabeth Glenn.
Yeah.
This place is under the thumb of Elizabeth Glenn now.
If we're gonna
Might
do
not be
it, let's
safe.
get in and get out.
Yeah. I want to go into the bordello. Yeah.
Are you even old enough?
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't
parents aren't
think so.
here.
I think
I'll
you're
stand
never too
outside
young
with the
for no
small one.
experiences.
Yeah. Your experience. Yeah, that sounds good.
So you're having this conversation outside the bordello at the moment. It's now sort of relatively late morning. The windows are open. They're airing the place out as best as they can. There is dust in the air. You notice that one or two of the working men and women are sweeping out the place. You are beckoned, even you, Thud, in by a scantily clad individual. Don't be
For its
shy.
size, that's very large.
Coming in. We're open for business all day and all night.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, miss. Let's head in.
So you head in. It is done up right fancy. Not really. They've tried their best in this place of scrap and sun. You notice that there are people lounging about in various states of undress. An individual kind of moves towards you. He's dressed in a suit, brown, kind of ill-fitting, a bowler hat on his head, a little sort of bow tie, tall and gaunt with a big grin on his face. This is the current owner, Marcus Murray, an individual you would have seen around town. Welcome to, we've kept the name Scarlet's. What can I offer you? You individuals, as he says, looking at you, Bellerophos. Let me get you drinks on the house while you sit down and take a look at the men and women of Scarlet's. Take your time, enjoy. and he
Bud
kind
is
of
so out of his element here, but he's
moves off.
trying to act cool.
He moves off and leaving you alone for a moment to look around.
We see Wayne.
Wayne is not downstairs.
Roger will wait for the aforementioned drink.
Yeah.
And
The
when
drinks
oh,
fairly rapidly arrive. It's not very pleasant. It's kind of lukewarm, fizzy, brewed alcohol.
It's wet, isn't it?
It's
Fine.
wet though. It is indeed wet. Not particularly
Um,
strong.
I think for Thud, it's very strong.
Marcus looks inquiring at you. Have you made your choices?
Roger, what do we do
yeah.
now?
It's all right, Thud. I wasn't expecting him to talk to me. I was waiting for the serving girl, but she appears to have left. And he'll look up, and he gets this look in his eye that you haven't really seen before. You've only known him a short while, and he gets this half grin, almost a smirk, and he looks up at Kennedy, and he goes, "I'm actually looking for a friend. I was down by the Thud shed working yesterday, and he came in, but I missed him, and we have quite good chats usually. I wanted to introduce him to my friends here. Wayne Dooley, is he here?"
Yes, he is. I don't think he wants to be disturbed at the moment. He's been taking advantage of Miss Glenn's hospitality.
I'm sure
Yeah,
she's a
I thought he
hospitable
might.
woman.
You don't think he means Miss Glenn, just her hospitality.
Yeah. Roger nods and goes, "No, it sounds like Wayne. Um, just on the off chance though, I've got a business proposition for him. Uh, you wouldn't happen to be able to drag him down, would you? I'll pay for his next one."
He kind of nods. Can you give me a persuasion roll, please?
Oh, I would love to, Andy.
Yeah. Don't get that natural one. Oh,
Damn it.
he kind of sort of nods. Well, how about you give me some motivation with a few breakers, and then I'll see what I can do. Perks of
Roger
the job.
nods. Yeah, Roger nods and goes, I assume the breakers would be for you anyway. We're all friends after all. How much would be appropriate in this scenario, Andy?
You think for him just to go and fetch him, maybe a couple of iron breakers, the black ones, so that's silver pieces.
He'll put down 5 of them. He winces internally, but doesn't show it because that is a good couple of days' wage.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he knows there's more on the line. And he hands it to him gently and goes, "Thank you, I appreciate it. It's we'll
He
wait for him
scoops
here."
up and smiles. Enjoy your drinks. I'll be but a moment. And he heads upstairs. And that is where we will leave it till next session. Will he be good to his word? Will he bring Wayne down? Or will it be some much worse? Only time will tell. Excellent stuff. Thank you very much for getting this campaign started. It's an interesting one, as you have upset some powerful people by accident in the clink. But you have also uncovered potentially a map that will mean you will never ever have to work again. You could be kings amongst men in the Scraplands, if you survive long enough, that is. So I want to say a big thank you to all our players. Thank you very much for taking part. I hope you enjoyed it. And I want to say a big thank you to everybody that's hung out in chat and watched it go on as well. We will be back again tomorrow night with the Gardens of Shidaklar. And we will be back with the next episode of Scraplands on, I believe, the 4th of March. So, without further ado, big thanks to everybody. Stay safe till we meet next time. Thanks
It's
for all the
2nd of
following
March, I think.
and all of the subscriptions as well.
Second
We
of March, I think.
yeah, 2nd of March. Yeah, sorry, because it's not a Thursday. We will be back to normal on the Tuesdays, and it will indeed be the 2nd of March. It's a good job someone's paying attention to the words that I am saying. So, as I say, stay safe. I will catch you all laters.